All right, y'all. What's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back. I'm back with another video, y'all. All right, y'all. So, a few days ago, yeah, it's been a few days since this past Saturday, and Gillian Robertson made her move down to 115, and she came in and made a big statement against Pierre Rodriguez, who's an upcoming prospect. Got a second round submission win over Pierre Rodriguez. And I know a lot of people felt like Gillian Robertson, her move down, it could favor her, which I was one of the ones that was kind of thinking that too. I wasn't sure like how her body would react, but the more and more I just kind of looked at, her past performances at flyweight and just her overall physique, I kept thinking to myself, you know what, like Gillian Robertson is not that big of a flyweight, so her move down would just be like 10 pounds off of her body, which, really wouldn't show too much with her because she's already kind of slim. I said, you know what? This might be the best move for her. Like if she can just move down the right way, and not just make this type of drastic drop, she should be fine, right? And that's how it turned out Saturday. She looked stronger. She looked more healthy, confident in her style, and definitely made some improvements in her game. And I know the level of opponent does matter at some points, but even like at flyweight though, like I never really seen Gillian Robertson take too many chances with her hands, and her kicks before. This time she was actually connecting when it came down to just establishing a good inside leg kick. She was actually touching Pierre Rodriguez. She wasn't just kind of throwing shots out. I know like her last couple fights, she was kind of finding her range, and everything. Her form was looking better, but she still wasn't connecting. But this time around, she seemed more confident in actually connecting and trying to stay in the pocket and put pressure on a fighter like Pierre Rodriguez. And I figured like Pierre Rodriguez would try to establish her jab, keep it moving, and try to, counter with her strength, try to counter with her strength and move Gillian Robertson back. But no, like she just fell into a groove, and Gillian Robertson, her being the specialist that she is on the ground, she was willing to take chances. So after watching that fight, I was thinking to myself, I had asked myself this question too, because some people asked me, like, with Gillian Robertson, looking good at this weight so far, and coming down and making a big statement, when can she be a threat to 115, or can she get into the top 15 at 115? And my thoughts, I think she can. I think she can get into the top 15. If moved right. Now, there's two ways to look at it. Like, if she can build off of what she did this past Saturday, yeah, like if her skills get better and she starts to learn that becoming well-rounded is very, very important for her style, then yeah, I could definitely see her being a threat. Or the second way, I think that if moved right, she could get into the top 15, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, you look at fighters like Mackenzie Dern, fighters like that, Amanda Ebos. Well, Amanda Ebos, she does fight hard, but, there are certain fighters that if they get in at the right time, they can make their way into the top 15, without taking on like the most difficult competition, right? Gillian Robertson recently called out Tabitha Ricci, and I think the one reason why I was really downplaying this fight, well, one reason I downplay it too is because, Tabitha Ricci, I still see her as a green fighter, but I realized that she was a top 15 now. After beating Jessica Penney, she got a number 15 ranking, right? So Gillian Robertson calling her out for good reason, right? She wants to take on a fight like that because that can get her into the top 15, and looking at this experience Gillian Robertson has at this point and everything she's been through and still being young, I don't see any reason why she can't make her way into the division, as long as she starts to really connect with her striking and become more confident and landing shots like she does on the ground. Like when you look at Gillian Robertson as a ground fighter, she's a surgeon there. Like the positions that she transitions to, from full mount to her arm bar, to getting your back, to pulling guard. Like she'll do certain things that you're not supposed to do in MMA, as far as like pulling guard like that against Pierre Rodriguez, and boom, she'll get it, right? Because this is what she does. And when she has you down, she's not afraid to land elbows and ground and pound. So I think the more Gillian Robertson builds off of things like that, and is not afraid to let her hands go on her feet, it should be no issue. It should be no issue. She's going to have to learn to connect more, fight off a jab, and land low kicks. If she can do that, again, she can get into the top 15. Taking on a fighter like Tabitha Ricci, yeah, I could see her getting a win over her and getting into the top 15. And from there, it would still be a question, is she a real threat? Because even beating Tabitha Ricci, I still see her as kind of a green fighter. We have to start matching her up with more of the veterans in the division, like the number 13, Tatiana Suarez. Fighters like that, that's going to really test Gillian Robertson's physical strength, which physical strength and striking IQ, I think, are two of the big things you're going to need to be able to push your way through the strawweight division. Okay, like those are two of the biggest things. Now, I know you need to be well-rounded, of course, but I mean, there's two things that you need to stand. You need to have that striking IQ, because this is a striker-heavy division. When you're looking at fighters like Marina Rodriguez, Amanda Lemos, Wei Lee, Rose, all these type of fighters, and you need a striking IQ against a fighter like the ones that can't strike, like Mackenzie Dern, or that are still learning. Like, I won't say Mackenzie Dern can't strike, period, but she's not one of the best strikers in the division. Like, she wants to take fights to the ground. So striking is very important in this division, because you need to know how to counter a fighter, and you need to know how to switch gears when you can't take fighters to the ground, or you should spend too much time on the ground. So Gillian Robertson, to be a real threat, she's going to have to be established in this jab and learn how to be more active on her feet, and, throw fighters into a spell like she's going to strike with them, and then boom, catch them off guard, and then you take them down. Beat them up on the feet, then catch them off guard, take them to the ground, right? Those are the things that she's going to need to master before she can be like this real threat. There's names that she could beat. There's names that she could beat with her being a specialist, but along the way, even some of these other fighters, they are starting to evolve and become more well-rounded, and they also have physical strength. Being physical is very important against these fighters like Mackenzie Dern, Tatiana Suarez, Amanda Lemos, and of course the champion Wei Lee. So I think along the way, Gillian Robertson, she's going to have to tack on a little bit more muscle in this division, and it should be no problem, as long as she continues to keep her weight down and, doesn't like let herself blow up, which she doesn't. I mean, she looks good. Like, Gillian Robertson looks good. Like, even in her downtime, you see her, she's like a fitness model. Like, she really keeps herself fit, and she has the abs, and she has that physique kind of like Joanna. So if Joanna, who has a similar body frame, and like Rose, like those thin, wiry types, like they have those type of frames, it should be no problem. It really should be no problem for Gillian Robertson to continue to make weight. Because if Joanna can do it and Andrade can do it, I think Gillian Robertson should have no problem and still have physical strength and a gas tank to go rounds, right? But I think one of the fighters that's going to really answer that question, is Gillian Robertson a threat? I know people are going to say, oh, this is a crazy name, but just watching through some fights, like one of the fighters that's going to test her is Angela Hill. I think Angela Hill is just a veteran in the game, and she's seen so many different styles. And on that lower level, with Angela Hill's IQ and her activity, we got to see if Gillian Robertson can close that distance and make that adjustment against an improving fighter. Like, Angela Hill, to me, has improved as far as her takedown defense and how she can escape, and also her angles, how she cuts angles. Like, can she get past the striker that's very durable? Can she get past the striker that lands in volume like that? Okay? Like, once she can get past somebody like that and submit a veteran in the strawweight division, then I'll start looking and say, okay. Now, if they match her up with a fighter like Tatiana Suarez and she can go in there and beat a Suarez, then for sure, Gillian is considered a threat. But it really comes down to seeing Gillian do more than just be a specialist, or seeing if she's gotten strong to the point of utilizing her specialty on these other opponents, if that makes sense. Like, can Gillian take over this division with just her pure grappling and her jiu-jitsu? And, like I said, I don't think she will be able to just do it off of that, because the game's evolving. The girls are evolving. So I think it's going to have to be a combination of two things, that striking IQ and her physical strength, She's going to have to get that strength up to really, really own these girls in this division. Because you see Mackenzie Dern, she still has trouble getting fighters down because she doesn't really bridge that gap. At least Gillian Robertson bridges that gap as far as, going for takedowns. She'll drag her opponent down. Like, her takedowns are very methodical. They're very tricky at times. Gillian, when she can get into a groove, she can latch on and she'll pull you down and you coming down with her. And when she gets you down, she scraps. She's a tough fighter like that. Mackenzie, I think she just telegraphs her takedowns, kind of bull rushes in, blitzes in there, leaves herself wide open for counter punches. So it's really hard to ever see her going for the belt like that. But I think Gillian has a lot going for her. Gillian, if she can just master it, maybe put down that smoke, maybe put down the smoke for a little bit, and just try to think a little bit clear-headed for a change. Like, I don't know how much she smoked. I'm just kind of joking around, throwing that out there. But me, I'm just saying, too, from my perspective, like, from following fighters like Floyd Mayweather and Bernard Hopkins, to be a champion, you do got to be clear-headed. You got to put down the drugs and all of that, smoke and all of that, right? I really, truly believe that. But, hey, maybe she just does it on her downtime. But, hey, I don't know. Anyways, I think, if Gillian Robertson can understand that she's got to add more to her game and get a little bit stronger for the division, I think she could possibly get into the top 10. I think she could get into the top 10. I think she can build off of this fight, possibly beat Tabitha Ricci, because I think Dana White, he'll give her that fight. I think Dana White really appreciates Gillian Robertson, because she likes to fight, win or lose. She's an exciting fighter, like he stated. And she does have a kill switch, which he wants, and she's active. She likes to fight. So if she asks for Tabitha Ricci, which I think she does deserve a top 15 because she's got a lot of experience. They're always putting her record up there with, like, the fighters with the most wins in the flyweight division, like Valentina, Caitlin Chikagin, and so on. She's got a lot of years of experience, a lot of years and a lot of fights with experience at flyweight. But now's the time to move down and, see what she can do. So I think she could get into the top 15. And if she can make the right adjustments, she could get into the top 10 now. I don't know if she could beat fighters like Marina yet, or definitely not like Lemos, Andrade. All of those fighters are different names. Even Rose, like Rose in grappling, that's one thing, but Rose in the MMA match, that's a different thing, And I think she knew that by the body language of Rose, because she said Rose kind of came in like an MMA fight in a grappling match, and I think that put her more at ease because she knew that this was my world, but it's going to be a different world when if Rose and Gillian Robertson face off, in MMA. It's totally different. So I think Gillian Robertson could do her thing in this division because she doesn't have to worry about, like, the bigger girls, the grapplers that are stronger, and the girls that are, just having better takedown defense and physically strong, period. The stand-up fighters like that, like, J.J. Aldridge, the Tyler Santos, the Miranda Mavericks, those girls that were kind of holding her back because of their strength, right? So I think she knew that, too, that I need to go down where, I'm not facing a bunch of bigger women. I have to go where my body is telling me, So, shout out to Gillian Robertson. She can keep it going. Hey, I'd like to see her in that division right now because, we have a lot of old heads in the strawweight division. It'd be good to see some new blood up in there coming down. I mean, Cynthia Calvillo just got cut. Tisha Torres is still out, but we've seen her fight everybody. We even see Marina Rodriguez fight everybody in the top 10. You know what I mean? So I want to see girls like Gillian Robertson make their move down. And when you look at her record, you're like, oh, she's been in the game for years. Is she already in her 30s? No, Gillian's still in her 20s. She's still in her 20s, so she's got a lot going for her here. A lot of experience. Youth is on her side. A team behind her that's still pushing her. Dana White still wants to keep her around. So that's why I say put down that smoke and stay focused because I think she could get a clear head and, possibly work her way up. Okay? But that's my thoughts on that, guys. I think Gillian Robertson could be a threat to the top 10, but it's going to take a lot of work. Top 5 is a different story. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.